The following podcast is brought to you by the Johners Podcasting Network, found exclusively at WrestlingWithJohners.com.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us here on another episode of Elite Talk Show. We are ready to talk some AEW, and has it been hot the last week? Perhaps the biggest return in all of wrestling history happened this week. Who might be retiring? And Eliminator Tag Tournament action going on. Let's welcome some of our usual guests. Down from Fort Lauderdale, we have Orlando.
Hey, everybody.
Joining us from Memphis, Tennessee, DMC Grizzle, still your, champion.
And still.
And joining us for the first time, he is part of the Are You Elite page on Facebook. He is Gary Joe. Gary, how you doing?
Joe.
Wrong promotion. We don't talk about that here.
Actually, I was really liking the little encouragement, I guess. They encouraged me to be the best that I could be on this show, so why not? Thanks so much, Daniel, and of course, Orlando. Thanks for that little moment there. That was
of course.
Cool.
So before we get into a little AEW, why don't you talk about what you do, because you got your own thing going on.
What I do on my page, AEW Are You Elite, which you guys can find on Facebook. Basically, I do special, shows, recaps. I'm also doing a trivia currently, All Elite Trivia that Sarah's a part of. I'm actually doing All Elite winners every month, and basically, if you want to know more about that, just click that like button, click the follow button on that page. It's pretty an exciting time for the page, to say the least. And then if anybody is a big Dylan McQueen fan, I got him coming on my page next Saturday. Can't wait for that.
I love Dylan McQueen.
Well, there we go, Daniel. I tried to make that work, especially for Dallas and, of course, Kyle. So I'm very glad that Dylan is willing to make it work. So, But yeah, very, very exciting time for the page, to say the least.
Watch New South Wrestling. It's great.
Watch any indie wrestling. It's helps support the indies.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, so before we get into AEW, news broke today. We'll talk about WWE for a moment here. Pat McAfee came out, on Twitter, said, he had contracted COVID. He's actually hit a temperature of 104.1, which that has got to be brutal.
It's awful.
Yeah. And he's vaccinated at that, so it's just like, hopefully it's not going to be too horrible for him. So
he said that his family did not get it, though, so that's good.
That's good.
So all the best wishes from us here at Bucklebomb. Get better.
Yeah.
Speaking of guys who just can't catch a break, let's talk about Gangrel.
Oh, man. That's such a drag. I mean...
Oh, come on now. I mean, I just feel like somebody knows what's going on in AEW. That's why they probably wanted to do that. So, I don't know. But, I mean, the entrance was good. I love the entrance that Edge did on SummerSlam. So, I feel bad for Gangrel. So.
For those that don't know, he was supposed to be part of Dynamite this week. Once Edge did the Brood entrance, Tony Khan called him up and said, we can't really do it. Hopefully they figure out something in the future.
Now, my question is, which
Question.
wrestlers? Well, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, it's good, dude.
Uh,
My question is though, what was he gonna do? You know what I mean?
yeah,
That
yeah, that
was
was my
very
question
interesting when
too.
that came out.
Yeah.
If I had to guess, I would say, Christian's getting a beatdown from the Elite. Maybe Gangrel comes out and saves him, scares him off.
Maybe. I mean, for me, like maybe he should be the manager for Abaddon.
I'm with that. That'd be
Mhm.
great. Anything for Gangrel to do, I'm cool with it. He's still wrestling, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Here in South Florida, I have to see one of his matches in the Indies.
Yeah, I was gonna mention Orlando. Doesn't he have like a gym down there?
Well, he used to have his wrestling school, but then like something happened where he
Oh,
couldn't maintain it. So I think he's still doing it though. He still has like a school. He's still training some wrestlers. So you know.
I think he had to find, 'cause the spot that he was in got bought. I think they kicked him out. So I think he just had to find somewhere new to do it.
Hmm. Yeah. Yep.
makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the hottest return possibly ever to wrestling.
Ice cream.
Ice cream, yes.
Welcome back, ice cream.
Yeah. I mean, especially with this heat, yeah, of course, ice cream. Come on.
Good part of the internet crowd knew it was coming. Friday night on Rampage, right off the bat, CM Punk makes his long-awaited return after a 7-year hiatus. That crowd was hot. I'm sure you could probably hear that crowd from outside the arena.
Yep. I mean, I think any crowd, if he would have came and debuted in AEW, I think everybody would have lost their minds. I mean, but it had to be in Chicago because that's his hometown. So
It was massive. It was very cool. I made my wife watch it with me. She's like, "Who's this guy?" I'm like, "Don't worry about it. Just watch this. It's going to be awesome." I thoroughly enjoyed all of it. I'm really excited to see what's going to happen. Besides the Derby match, I mean, there's all the possible matchups, all the storylines they can do. Can't wait for someone to shoot on Punk. All the above. Gary Joe, what was your take on it, and how did you react?
Yeah, dude. My take on this. I try to make it short and sweet. I won't do like a list of Jericho where it's gonna go on forever. I will say though, dude, it was the most magical moment that you can ask for as a wrestling fan. My parents that have not been watching wrestling forever is getting into wrestling again, and that's because of AEW. Here's my mother watching Rampage with me, and I remember her turning to me and giving me a big hug, crying because we were so happy. And
Aww.
that is how you want to feel as a wrestling fan. And it's so cool to see that. The crowd was red hot, absolutely, which would expect here. And one of the things that was very crazy is a couple things. CM Punk was literally trending on YouTube for I think like 3 to 4 straight days. That's unheard of. So that's really, really rejuvenated around the wrestling world. And one thing I liked about this is it really stole the buzz from SummerSlam in some capacity because that's all what everybody was talking about all weekend long more than SummerSlam. And I think that is a very smart business move from Tony Khan. So I really liked it for that aspect as well because if people say, like I've been reading comments left and right, you guys know that, Sarah and Daniel. The IWC is already shitting on it, and I'm thinking to myself, there's no way you guys are doing that. You guys are more happier than us four combined. It just, and the ratings showed this week. It's a great thing for AEW, but most importantly, it's the perfect time to be a wrestling fan. I really never thought CM Punk would ever be back, And I think Tony Khan more than anything in the world.
There was a cool segment on Evil Uno's vlog that I started watching recently, and you could see Tony talk to the crowd right before it happened, and that was pretty cool. That was a shot that looked like somebody got from a skybox, and it's just I want him to turn heel right now and just destroy everyone's hopes and dreams. Like that's the evil part of me. I want him to do something terrible. But I think he's going to ride this. He's going to ride this wave for a while. But I would like to see some character development and see what we're going to do with him instead of him just being back. Like he's back. That's awesome. But now what? And there has to be an awesome plan. Otherwise, he wouldn't have come back. So I think we're in for some shit.
I agree. And Orlando, my question is for you. Actually, all of you guys. Do you notice the first two promos that CM Punk has had? It's not about him. He acknowledges the young talent immediately. And that is how you put over a star. And the names that he mentioned last night, well, it sounded a little convenient because the 4 that he mentioned was on the tapings of Rampage and Dynamite last night. But either way, the first words from CM Punk was Britt Baker, and that's putting her over. CM Punk has a vision for this, and this is why I'm all in with him being in this company, and I'm very excited for it.
Yeah, like I think for me is just like I was happy because I kind of said it on the podcast a few times. I was like, I just want him to go out there, feel the crowd, like how he, feel that energy because he needed that. And he did that. He felt that energy from the fans and he was very happy. And I'm glad that he's back. Now, the question is just that how does he still got it? I mean, he's going to face Darby Allin. So I'm just wondering what kind of wrestling style is he going to do? So.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. I thought that it was really interesting that he was able to put over young talent and mention the women's division all in one in his very first sentence, which is a pretty good choice. It's a good choice. I mean, he's a snarky guy. I'm just saying it could have been a slight dig with his very first comments. Like, so let's fix the women's division first of all. I'm here.
I hope so.
By the way, I'm back.
I hope so. Yeah, but I hope so that he does help out with the women's division.
Now let's talk about the one thing a lot of people else are talking about. He brought her up last night, AJ Lee. Do we see her make her way into AEW, you guys think?
I think so. Come on now. I think it's come on. Like she has a lot of women that she could work with there, like new women. Like it doesn't have to be like some women. Like I know that she may have some women that she could work with in WWE, but for me, I think she could easily help the women out there when it comes to promos as well as character work, because she was like the over character back when she was in WWE. So,
yep.
Maybe once she hangs around the locker room a few times, she's going to see that it's a great place. Maybe she gets that itch.
Who's to say she hasn't? Just because he said she was at home last night doesn't mean that she was.
Did you see her tweet today? Her reaction to her name being mentioned last night?
I think anything, this women's division really needs to be ran by somebody else. Kenny Omega, I'm sorry, dude, I love you, but no. Like, it's not working out anymore, to be quite honest. AJ Lee, yeah, it would really establish something. Obviously she's been around the business long enough to understand it. I mean, look at Mickie James. Her little stunt right now in NWA, she's making that women's division amazing. And after that women's match last night, it was very impossible to watch. So they really need to change their landscape with somebody else to run that division.
Agree.
I'm liking Jamie Hayter, though. I like Jamie Hayter.
Yes.
She look good.
The booty, Daniel?
Do what?
The booty?
Hey,
The booty, Daniel.
she smiled when she pinned someone. She looked good doing it. I'm all about it. She's great.
Yeah.
More Jamie Hayter.
Yeah,
All right.
but also it was fun. But it is funny that when she said on her tweet, it's like I didn't expect to hear my government name.
Yeah.
That was great. One thing actually, because I was out of wrestling for
Yeah.
about 10 years, as I've spoken about before here, and I miss all of CM Punk's WWE career, so I didn't really have much of an opinion about him coming back. But when you see him come back and just see how humble he felt and just the genuine happiness that he felt with those fans, it's like, okay, I can get behind this guy. So I'm ready for him to see what he can do.
Yeah, wait until he turns on the fans. Oof, I'm gonna be like I told y'all. I have a feeling he's gonna turn on the fans in a few months. Watch, and then he's gonna cut like the most vicious promo. Like it will make MJF look like a PG character.
We know those
Well.
two are going to get into a promo battle at some point.
Oh yeah, I can't wait. Ooh, I can't wait for that.
Well, I
So-
do like McGrizzle's idea with. Sorry, Sarah, I didn't mean to cut you
No.
off.
No, go ahead, Gary.
I was going to say I do like McGrizzle's idea with the heel turn as well. Because once we get Daniel Bryan, I'm going too far ahead. My apologies, but once we get him, like literally, if you want a top tier heel, I mean, nothing against the MJFs, nothing against the Kenny Omegas, but a heel CM Punk is what we're used to, and yeah, I mean, it would be absolute gold to say the least. So.
Mm-hmm.
Bring back the
Yeah.
planet's champion. I love that gimmick so much. It was so clever. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Bring it back.
It's funny. Once I got done, editing our other video last night, it was about 20 minutes behind on AEW. I got on and I checked Twitter. Sure enough, Daniel Bryan's trending on Twitter because, the crowd gives CM Punk, the yes chance. And he says, oh, that's somebody else's chick. Gotta be a little more patient. And the crowd just went nuts.
All I have to say is like you can't tell Punk nothing. You can't tell Punk nothing. You'll spoil everything.
Well,
CM Punk is
I mean,
the spoiler.
Is he wrestling's Tom Holland? Just giving out all the endings and stuff.
Oh.
Hot takes.
We'll see. So it appears Dan Lambert's appearance initially may have just been more than a one-off. Looks like he might be here to stay and managing Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky. What do you guys think about that?
First of all, Dan Lambert is shooting all over the place. This is all 100% shoot all the time. He believes every single word coming out of his mouth, I believe. And I told you that his promo this week wouldn't be as good as it was last week, although it was pretty nice. I'm wondering how many of these he has in him before it becomes kind of redundant. But yeah, Dan Lambert's just shooting beep, 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 all over the place on every single millennial in the country. I think it's funny.
And it works.
And it works.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
My opinion on Lambert, when he did his little, I'm just going to call it his version of a pipe bomb, I thought it was awesome just because that was addressing every single hater with AEW, and that's how they addressed it. You know what? This is what you think with the IWC. Well, we're going to have Dan Lambert come in and say it for us. I think it's perfect. And something that I kind of sensed about it last night, he said, well, it's going to take some men of the biggest men or something to take these guys down. Something tells me Braun Strowman, and I know, Sarah, you don't like hearing that, but it kind of sensed Braun Strowman could be perhaps at an upcoming show, and I'm expecting a tag match with Sky and Ethan Page against Lance Archer and somebody else. Because Archer needs a match at All Out, because, the guy was just IWGP US champion for crying out loud. So that's the sense that I got with that. But anyway, Lambert he's interesting, to say the least. I'm curious to know what they're going to do when they go forward with this buffoon, because he's getting the heat, and that's what you need. You need a heel that can really piss you off. So I think this is good.
How long do we see before maybe they try to stick on commentary? Because they don't really have any clear-cut heel commentators. Taz kind of goes back and forth, when you watch him on Dark and stuff. There's no true heel commentator. Do they try to stick that there?
I don't think he wants to. I don't know if they want to use like a. What is he like? What, like a celebrity coach or something, or what? Like,
stop trying to replace JR. He's an American treasure.
I love that.
Yeah,
JR can be on that table as long as he wants, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, and everybody needs to chill when it comes to JR. He's a legend, like Jesus. I'm already turned off by this guy. I didn't like the fact that he got paired with Scorpio and Ethan. Like, they don't need a mouthpiece.
Weird. It is
Yeah,
weird.
they don't need a mouthpiece. Like, they're good on their own. Like, they can speak for themselves. I just don't get it.
But if
like,
the story is more like he's hired them temporarily or something like that, that's fine. But I mean, if I still see them hanging out together in 5 months, I'm going to be like, what are y'all doing?
Hey, that's like almost everybody in AEW and the stables. So
it's a good point.
Oh,
It's a fine point.
Yeah.
Sorry, Gary.
It's all good, Orlando. No problem.
Listen, I have to look. For me, it's just like, I love AEW, but there are some things that really irk me when it comes to AEW. Like, their women's division is so atrocious. They could do so much better for that.
Don't even get them started on the Young Bucks.
Oh yeah, fuck the Young Bucks. Excuse me.
I love the Young Bucks.
Mm-hmm.
They have the tag team titles in hostage. No, there's other better tag teams.
And they all have to lose at least once, and then everything will. And then we'll get to everyone. It's fine.
They need to acknowledge the best in the division. That's the Young Bucks.
They're not going to do this forever. Like, this is the Young Bucks title run, because they have to be, this is it, and they have to establish themselves with gold in the company, and that's what we're doing. And then I swear to God, they'll spend the next 2 or 3 years putting people over. I mean, they don't have to win, and especially now that all the interferences are all going poorly and everything, they could do that for a year and then ride out like a set like this. I'm not worried about the Bucks. They know what they're doing.
Mm-hmm. So we'll talk All Out. Speaking of the Young Bucks, we got the announcement of that Eliminator Tag Tournament. Rampage, we saw, was it Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus, they advanced. Then on Dynamite, we saw the Lucha Bros, they advanced as well, defeating Varsity Blondes. So, on Rampage this week, we get the Lucha Bros versus Jungle Express.
To D Grizzle's point, because how their like shenanigans is backfiring on them, I have a feeling they're going to do something in this match on Friday where it's going to end up into a triple threat match.
Luchasaurus joins the Elite.
Oh, no!
This is all leading towards. Luchasaurus turns heel at All Out. Mark my words. It's going down. That's what this is all about.
Wow. Thankfully, I did not see the spoilers, so I don't know what could happen. Me personally,
wait, there's spoilers?
Think they need
there's spoilers out there.
Oh, okay.
So they filmed Rampage right after Dynamite, and of course, there's people out there who are gonna post it online. So be careful out there.
Sorry, Gary. Yeah, sorry, Gary. You were saying. Go ahead.
Don't be sorry, Orlando. It's okay. Like I said, I think Lucha Bros needs to win here. Their contract is coming up this fall, and quite possibly this could be the team that could take the titles from the Young Bucks. I mean, if they're the ones that's going to be in that cage match at All Out, I'm gonna pull a freaking Dave Meltzer 6-star. I mean, I know for damn sure that's gonna be a good match. Same thing would go with Jurassic Express. The thing that I'm a little confused on the booking though is Jurassic Express just lost their number one contendership, and why you're putting them back in a tournament? It's weird to me.
It is strange. I do think though that I think the reason that they've booked it that way is that the story is going to be that they couldn't beat them without the cage up because they just had too much help from the elite, and maybe if they do want to put the belts on them, this is the way to do it. I still think one of them's turning for some reason. A long time, and I always bring this up, that a long time ago, Darby told Jungle Boy he was going to have to turn to the dark side if he wanted to win gold in AEW. It was right before their TNT Championship match. And I've always thought that meant that Jungle Boy would turn eventually, but there's also been all these rumors that Luchasaurus would also. I mean, how fucking heartbroken would you be if Luchasaurus pulled Jungle Boy off from the cage and said no way, and then lets Nick Jackson pin him or something like that? Like, it would be heart wrenching. I know, I just made everyone upset. I'm sorry. Look, I don't book it. Okay, I just see the future.
What if it's Brandon Cutler?
I love the booking, dude.
What if it's Brandon Cutler turning face? You've been talking about that a lot recently too. I mean, hey, it's I want my dragon back. I don't know what to say. I love Brandon Cutler.
Mm-hmm. So remember, he's been teasing, getting back with Peter on being the elite.
I don't know how they do it though. Maybe he climbs up and sprays one of them in the eye with the cold spray or something like that.
It's gonna eventually happen. I feel like it's gonna eventually happen. So we'll see.
But are we seeing the downfall of the elite now, or are we still stretching it out? And then Kenny's the final piece, hopefully with Hangman.
Well,
Although
I thought like it was starting already because like he lost the Impact title, so I thought it was going to be a chain effect.
Right.
So
apparently AAA's got one more person that they want Kenny to face as champion. I don't know if that's the person that they want to put the belt on or if they want to get that match out of the way before they put it on someone else. But I'm wondering how long it's going to take and if they're still going to have gold by Revolution or not.
Because Impact is doing their Bound for Glory, and they did tease all these different companies, so they could have a AAA match.
It'd be cool. Yeah. Way into it.
Any thoughts, Gary?
I really thought the domino effect with Kenny Omega was going to be after Christian won the Impact titles, and then slowly, let that fizzle out. With the elite by getting upset with each other, absolutely. I get it; they're the hottest faction in AEW right now, so maybe they don't want to rush that. But I see the pieces finally, slowly breaking apart with the elite once D-Bry gets in there, and then we got CM Punk, wanting to get his nose in them, and I'm hoping it's soon rather than later. Honestly, I like the elite, I really do, but it's kind of getting dragged out just a little bit long. Just my opinion on it, though.
Is it because we're so used to WWE factions lasting 6 months and that's it? They're done? If that?
See, I don't know. I mean, maybe it could drag out. All right.
Gary doesn't know.
One of those
Gary
things,
quit watching
WWE.
A lot of people are quitting WWE now. AEW is on.
Dude, the only thing I watch with WWE is I tend to watch highlights with NXT because I like NXT. That's the only thing good with them. And I even watch highlights for Raw and SmackDown because I have another wrestling page, and I really regret the first 10 minutes when I watch those highlights.
Oh Lord!
Can't get those 10 minutes back.
No.
Yeah. Well, to your question though, Sarah, remember there were a lot of things that we're not used to that we got used to because of WWE, like a no disqualification match. I didn't know it could go to anywhere goes. Like when they had that tornado tag match with Darby and Sting versus 2.0. They
Mhm.
went all over the arena. I was like, okay.
So let's talk about
Yeah.
two other matches
And
that
that was
got
one of my
announced.
favorite matches of the night.
Yeah, that was a good match. Let's talk about two other matches that got added for All Out. The women's title match has been set. Britt Baker versus number one contender Chris Statlander, who's been undefeated since she came back. Her first loss, or did she win the title?
Nope. She's gonna lose. I'm sorry, Bray is keeping that title for a bit. I'm sorry.
Mhm.
It's her division. It's the DMD division. Okay. I'm just waiting for her to get a good challenger. Like, bring in Mickey, bring in Melina, bring in AJ Lee. Like, she needs a top tier challenger now because she's, you know.
And speaking of Britt Baker, her dream match she says she wants to get done in AEW is mixed gender match. Her and Adam Cole taking on AJ Lee and CM Punk.
It's just her low key way of saying she wants a husband and wife versus husband and wife match. Adam proposed to me. That's what she's saying.
Yeah, it's lingo of like, you better put a ring on it now.
Yeah. Hello, champion DMD. MRS Cole.
Dot. The other match we're getting John Moxley versus Tanahashi.
We're getting Moxley
Is that
versus
official?
Kojima.
Yes,
It's Yuashima, right?
yes.
Yeah.
I don't know why I had Tanahashi written down, but yes.
Kojima. Yeah, that's going to be great.
I wish.
The crowd was the crowd totally no sold that one, but it's going to be a fantastic match.
And of course, the last.
My thoughts on it.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
My thoughts on it. I think it's great because again, it's that one step closer to this really great relationship in New Japan and AEW, and should be really, really good match for to say the least. And to reply with Daniel's comment with the Milwaukee crowd. I hope they never go back to Milwaukee. No offense to the Milwaukee crowd. That was a very lame duck crowd.
Sorry,
Sorry.
I disagree with you about that. I disagree with you on that, Jerry. I'm sorry, but this last episode of Dynamite was a little bit meh because they were just setting up a lot of things. Like there was nothing interesting. So I kind of like side with the Milwaukee crowd because it wasn't too like no, but they were up for CM Punk though. So they were they were live when CM Punk was there. Like somebody like I was in like this group chat and then somebody said that he was at the show. And then when they said that CM Punk was next, everybody left the concession stands to go and see him live. So,
hey, I guarantee you well, first of all, two things. One, like any show after Friday, no one's going to match that crowd for a while. So I do tend to agree more with Orlando. But yeah, there were some spots where I was kind of like, where's the crowd? Why are y'all not into this? So I guess I'm kind of in between both of y'all. But as a Packers fan and a big fan of Wisconsin, and I'll be there next week. I'm coming for you, Wisconsin. I do have to lean towards their side a little bit. But I do think this match with Moxley is only to introduce a further opening of the door. Murder Grandpa is coming to AEW. Minoru Suzuki shows up at All Out because he is doing a tour of the Indies in September. And I think he shows up. I think Suzuki is en route. Maybe he brings all of Suzuki-gun. Maybe not. I don't know. What are they going to do? But Murder Grandpa is coming to a pay-per-view near you. And I'm so excited about it. Another bold prediction. Do what?
I said, and so let down if it doesn't happen.
Yeah, I'll be a little let down. Somebody is coming from New Japan. We're not just doing this match and then it's going to be okay. Thank you. We have so much respect. This is a pay-per-view. Something huge is happening with Japan and Moxley, and there's a plan, which is why Mox isn't really involved with any major storylines with people here right now. That not yet, but I mean, like, nothing's really gone deeper than, Daniel Garcia wants to jump me. Well, now I'm gonna beat up Daniel Garcia. That's a fine way to set up a match on Rampage. But they got big plans for Mox. You don't pay a guy $6 million a year if you're not going to do something huge with him. Something's going down.
No, but he was salty that one promo that he did. He did that promo. Remember, he's like, now everybody wants to come here now because it's the hottest thing here. Like, he felt a little salty about that.
I know. I like it, and I hope I think that might have excited some people, and I'm here for it. Coffee.
I'm sorry, Gary, I cut you off. Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
At least he won't. I was gonna say, if he's gonna turn heel, at least he's not gonna wear, a Bane mask on his face again. I would be all in for a heel Moxley. It's long overdue, in my opinion, because he's one of the biggest guys on that roster, and they desperately need, nothing against Kenny, a really, really nasty heel. Maybe that could be Punk again, but Moxley would be perfect for that role. And McGrizzle, you made me think of something, dude, with this New Japan thing. Jay White did tease that he was in Chicago. So there we go. We could see Jay White at All Out.
Hey, why not? How about Ospreay? He got cleared.
What if all of Bullet Club shows up and we get Bullet Club versus the Elite?
Heart Attack City right there, man.
Chicago would lose their fucking mind.
Listen, for $50, they better throw everything, like the kitchen sink and stuff, to this new All Out. Now that CM Punk is there, all eyes are on this pay-per-view. They better because right now, I'm sorry, this pay-per-view is all about CM Punk's return. That's it. Honestly,
they got plans. They got.
Yeah,
plans.
I know. No, I know they got plans. I have a feeling like they have some surprises and some things coming up. But I'm just saying that this pay-per-view right now is the Punk return of wrestling. So I'm not feeling it yet until we get there. Maybe probably after Dynamite next week, maybe I'll feel it. So, but
yeah, I think once we get a good proper go home show, it's gonna be like, okay, here we go. And I can't even watch it live because I have a show that night. Like, I'm gonna have to watch it the next day, which is really upsetting. Yeah,
you better mute the chat because we're probably gonna talk about it.
Well, luckily the place I'm going has terrible cell phone reception. So.
Oh, so you're in luck. So you're probably gonna get all of them after you leave.
Yeah, or I'll get thank you. Yeah, I'll get one accidental message to be like Sting murdered everybody. I'll be like, no, and then I won't be able to find out anything.
Oh my god, that's funny.
Yeah, dude. The Jeff Dunham show that I went to last Wednesday. That was tough. Not trying to get an alert in that group chat that I'm a part of.
You're right.
Oh man, that was brutal. But Sean said, just so you know, people are talking about the show, and thankfully, when I saw that from Sean, it made me realize, do not go in that group chat. So. Oh,
Sean always gets mad about the spoilers too. So yeah, I understand. That's funny that he's the one that told you.
I don't blame the guy whatsoever. Mm-hmm. Sean's really good about communicating with that sort of thing. He's my best friend when it comes to a lot of things. So he's awesome, man.
Sean rules.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Except when I faced him in that trivia tournament in the finals.
Ooh.
Going down.
Ooh.
Battle.
Ooh, Sarah.
Moving on, the last match to talk about, and it's one that it's got a lot of us nervous. The Jericho MJF retirement match.
He's not retiring. Why is everybody thinking he's retiring now?
I think he's taking a little bit of a break, that's for sure.
No.
He's going on tour with Fozzy.
I mean, if anyone can say I'm retired and then come back a year later and say I was just kidding, it's Chris Jericho. So I mean, he could pull this off if he wants to.
Chris Jericho retired, but the Painmaker is here to stay.
Yeah, something like that, or he can be involved in like a street fight because it's not wrestling or whatever. There's ways around it.
Mhm.
But I don't know, man. I kind of think he's gonna lose. I don't
As
see
long
why that they would have him win. Like, what do we gain from that?
we don't want him in commentary, that's for sure.
I love him in commentary. You don't like his commentary?
Hell no! You like that?
He's
No.
fantastic. He's great.
No.
Orlando.
No.
I am
Orlando,
contacting
you're
HR right
killing
now.
my soul, dude.
No, like he screams. He's just like annoying. No, it's like he's very heelish in commentary. You don't think he was like a very much heelish in commentary?
He was the top heel at the time. He was doing great. But we haven't really heard much of his, babyface commentary or just, average commentary. I mean, we don't know if he would be a total dick, if he would be Le Champion, or if he would just be like, Chris Jericho, retired legendary wrestler. So we don't know,
I mean, he made
exactly where he's going to fall. What do you say, Sarah?
I said he made Pineapple Pete what he was.
I mean, come on. Legend.
We don't need your
Yeah,
negative
he's-
attitude, mister.
Yeah.
Gary,
Orlando
what are your
bubble
thoughts on
is
that?
small at the moment. No, just giving you shit, buddy. Honestly, I actually was a little nitpicky on this last night, and then Sean made a good point. This really took the whole place. I'm very curious to see what's going to happen with this. Jericho is obviously putting over MJF 3 times. Can he do it a 4th time? I'm very curious to know with this outcome. If Jericho loses, I'm like Daniel. I'm like Sarah. I love him on commentary. I really, really do. For what I understand, Jericho is a advisor for Tony Khan at the moment too, for a backstage kind of like talent relation. So I think that would be good as well if he happened to retire from the ring. I mean, Jericho's definitely had a little too much bubbly. I mean, if he's going to be away on tour, man, you need to really. If you're going to come back when you're on tour and whatnot, you really need to slim down Jericho. Because damn.
Well, I just can't imagine that he's looking, and I don't mean like really any offense to him for like the way his body looks or anything. I mean, he is 50, whatever. But he can't go back and watch these matches and think that this looks good. I mean, he's obviously lost a step. He can clearly still go, but when you talk about someone that's like, if you want to compare it to basketball, he is a LeBron James, a Tracy McGrady, somebody like that really was truly great in their time. So you can't, when you can't do that anymore, when you can't play it at that level, you might not just want to, just be going through the motions anymore. What are y'all giggling about, you little gossipers?
Orlando connection issues.
Yeah, what in the hell? So I don't know. I hope that whatever's happening is exactly what Jericho wants to happen, and he's happy.
Well, you know what? Actually, thinking about it, remember Jericho left and came back to WWE, so I mean, it could happen. So maybe he's now going to do that with AEW. So now the fact that he has like a new home with AEW, so yeah.
Yeah, no, I do agree with Orlando on that. I mean, like literally, these fans are opening them up with open arms, and it's been like that since day one. And it's going to be very interesting to know that outcome for that match. It's just if that's indeed Jericho's last match in the ring, I expect that to be perhaps the match of the night. I really do.
It'll definitely be up there.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, that will do it for us here tonight. Don't forget, check us out. What's been scrolling on the bottom, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Check out our Facebook page and group. You can interact with all of us, including Gary. Gary's part of that group as well. It's on Twitter at BuckleBombENT. YouTube, subscribe to us as well. Shop Bucklebomb for some merchandise. We just released a new shirt last week. It's a great shirt.
Well, I should get that now because I was turning heel in this
Warning,
episode.
Turning Hill. Great shirt. We're gonna release our next few shirts that we release will be, not necessarily Buckle Bomb branded. It'll have the Buckle Bomb on the back. But we're gonna come up with some funny shirts. Daniel's got his Buckle Bomb shirt. Daniel, how great is that quality shirt?
It's very comfortable. I'm thoroughly happy with it. It didn't even smell funny when I pulled it out of the bag.
Yeah, sometimes you get those chemical smell shirts and you gotta wash them first. Well, this one you can wear right out of the bag. Gary, thanks for joining us here. We'll have you on again sometime soon.
Yeah, it was honestly a blast. I'm really was very thankful to be a part of this, Sarah. Thanks so much for allowing me to come on here, and can't wait for you to be on one of the shows for All Elite Week next week. It's going to be a blast.
Yes. And of course, we will link your page in the description to this video as well. Thank you, everybody. Have a great night.
Bye.